Michael and Emily had been married for 5 years. Their love was strong, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and quiet moments of understanding. But there was one dream that had remained unfulfilled, the dream of having a child. After years of trying and countless doctor visits, the harsh truth settled in. They couldn't have children. The news hit Emily hard. She didn't know how to process the grief. The weight of it settled heavily on her shoulders, and her smile seemed to fade, even when Michael was around. Every month that passed without a positive test felt like a reminder that something was missing in their life. Michael noticed the change in Emily. The spark in her eyes dimmed, and the laughter that once filled their home became less frequent. He knew she was struggling, but he didn't know how to fix it. He loved her deeply, but sometimes, love didn't feel like enough. One evening, as they sat on the couch, Emily's eyes stared off into the distance, her fingers nervously tapping the armrest. Michael reached out, gently touching her hand. He didn't need to ask, he could see the sadness in her. "Emily, I'm here. Whatever you feeling, whatever you going through, I'm here," he said softly, his voice full of tenderness. She met his gaze, her voice barely a whisper. "I just feel broken, Michael. I see all these families around us, and I wonder, why not us?" Michael's heart ached for her, but he didn't have an answer. He wished he could take her pain away. He squeezed her hand tighter. "You're not broken. We're just going through something together. This doesn't change who we are. It's not about having a child, it's about how we love each other. And I'll keep loving you, always." She nodded, trying to hold back the tears, but she couldn't stop them. Michael pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly as she cried. He knew she needed to grieve, to feel everything she was going through, and he would be there, every step of the way. Days turned into weeks, and Emily's sorrow still hung in the air, unspoken but ever present. Michael spent every day thinking of ways he could help, ways to bring back the joy they had shared before. But no matter what he did, nothing seemed to ease her heart. Then one day, while running errands, Michael made a decision. He had been doing some research and learned about adoption, how there were so many children out there who needed loving homes. He knew it wouldn't be the same as having a child of their own, but maybe it would help heal the void they both felt. He arranged everything in secret. It wasn't going to be easy, but Michael believed in their love and the strength of their bond. He knew that if they were meant to be parents, they would find a way, no matter the path. Several weeks later, when Michael returned home after work, Emily was in the kitchen, staring at the empty dining table. He quietly walked behind her, holding something in his arms, and whispered, "Close your eyes, love." Emily turned, confused but curious. "What is it?" "Just trust me," Michael said, a smile playing on his lips. When she closed her eyes, Michael gently placed a small bundle in her arms. Emily gasped, her hands trembling as she opened her eyes to see the baby, a tiny, beautiful infant, asleep in a soft blanket. Her breath caught in her throat, and her tears began to fall, but this time, they were different. They were tears of joy, of disbelief, of love. She looked at Michael, her voice shaking. You did this? You brought us a baby?" Michael nodded, his eyes glistening with emotion. "I couldn't fix what we couldn't have, but I could help us find our family. This is our little one, Emily. I knew that we could love them, just like we've always loved each other." Emily's heart swelled with a love she hadn't known was possible. She held the baby close, tears streaming down her face as she looked up at Michael. "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. "You don't need to," Michael replied softly. "You're everything I need. And now we have everything we've always dreamed of." They sat together, Michael by her side, as they gazed down at their child. In that moment, everything felt right. Their journey had been hard, but it had led them to this perfect, unexpected blessing. And no matter what the future held, they knew they would always have each other. Because love wasn't about the things they couldn't change, it was about the strength they had in each other, and the family they had built together.